Stop scrolling. You won't believe these AI-generated images. They're so mind-blowing. You'll think they're real. Today, we're diving into FLUX 1.1 Pro, the AI tool that's revolutionizing how you can create stunning visuals in seconds. Want to unlock your creative superpower? Stick around because we're revealing how AI is changing the game for everyone, from total newbies to pro creators. This episode is packed with tips and secrets you can't miss. Ready to supercharge your creativity? Let's go.
Ever wished you could just, think of a picture and have it just pop into existence? It feels like we're getting closer and closer to that sci-fi dream, right?
It's really remarkable how fast things are moving.
Totally. And today's deep dive is all about FLUX. You know, that AI image tool that everyone's been talking about.
Oh yeah, FLUX is definitely shaking things up.
We're diving into all the latest news from both the folks who created it, Black Forest Labs, Together.AI, those guys who are all about making this tech easy peasy to use.
It's a big deal. The launch of FLUX 1.1 Pro directly from Black Forest Labs, and then right away you can get it on Together.AI's platform too. Huge.
Okay, so let's talk FLUX 1.1 Pro first. Black Forest Labs is saying it's 6x6 faster than the previous version. That's going to be a game changer for anyone who actually uses this stuff, right?
Yeah.
I mean, no one wants to wait around forever for their images.
Speed is everything these days, especially as these AI models become, part of people's actual workflow.
Right. It's got to be usable.
Exactly. And Black Forest Labs isn't just throwing out impressive sounding numbers. They've actually got data to back it up. There were independent benchmarks done by artificial analysis, and get this, they put FLUX 1.1 Pro right at the top of the leaderboard for speed.
Oh, wow. So they weren't kidding. But okay, let's be real. Speed is fantastic and all. But if the images look like a 5-year-old made them, what's the point? What about the quality of the visuals coming from 1.1 Pro? Did they skimp on that for the sake of speed?
Not at all. It's actually the opposite. They've managed to crank up both the speed and the quality. We're talking better image quality across the board. Plus, the AI is even better at understanding what you mean in your prompts. And get this, they even made the original FLUX 0.1 Pro model twice as fast.
It's like they said, hold my beer, and then just blew everyone out of the water. Now, here's where I think things get really interesting. They also launched this BFL API. Is this their way of basically saying, hey, world, come play with FLUX?
I think it's even bigger than that. For developers, this is huge. It used to be a real challenge just to get your hands on these models. But now, with the BFL API, there's direct access. That means developers can take FLUX's image generation capabilities and build them directly into their own apps. It's a game changer.
So we could be talking apps that create images based on whatever the user wants, right then and there. Whoa, okay, that's next level. But there are other APIs out there, right? What makes this one so special?
You're right. There's definitely competition in the API space. But BFL is really emphasizing two things: customization, really advanced customization options, and pricing. They're making it super competitive, especially if you're working with their FLUX 0.1 model suite.
Which is already really popular, right?
Exactly. Those are in high demand. Just imagine what happens when all of a sudden this tech is available to anyone with a good idea. We could see a creative explosion unlike anything we've ever imagined.
I'm getting chills. That's so cool. Okay, so we've got Black Forest Labs dropping bombshells left and right. But then on the other side of the town, so to speak, we've got Together.AI, and their whole thing is making this technology easy for anyone to use, right?
100%. They're all about accessibility. And they are making FLUX 1.1 Pro available on their platform. But here's what really caught my eye. They're offering free access to the open source FLUX 0.1 Schnell model for 3 months. 3 months, that's huge.
Free is my love language, so I'm here for it. But hold up, back up a second. Schnell. Does that mean supercharged or something in German? What is that?
Pretty much. It seems like they've taken the FLUX model and basically optimized it for speed.
So even faster than the faster FLUX.
That's the idea. And they're delivering it through something they call their Together Turbo endpoint, which is,
Okay, Together Turbo. I can already hear the racing announcers in my head. I love it. But, okay, we've covered the what, right? New models, faster speeds, free trials. Let's get into the why. Why should people even care about FLUX? There's a whole world of AI art out there.
That's the key question, right? And one of the biggest things that both Black Forest Labs and Together.AI are really highlighting is how good FLUX at handling those really complex prompts and then spitting out super detailed scenes based on them.
So not just make me a picture of an apple, but like make me a picture of an apple falling from a tree in an enchanted forest at sunset with a unicorn in the background kind of thing.
Exactly. This isn't just about creating a pretty picture, it's about visual storytelling and design on a whole other level. And Black Forest Labs is really emphasizing FLUX's skills in a few key areas. First up, generating text within an image.
Oh, wow, that's tricky. Like actually believable text.
Not just basic text, we're talking about being able to accurately place challenging words, repeated letters, the works. Think about trying to make an image with a handwritten note or a street sign that actually looks real. That's the level of detail FLUX is capable of.
That is really impressive.
Yeah.
But what about those super complex scenes you were talking about? Can it actually handle more than just text?
They gave an example of a super complex underwater scene. Picture this, 2 owls having a fancy dinner with this really detailed foreground A&D background. And they even had text on a submarine passing in the distance, and FLUX just nailed it.
Wow, so it can keep track of all that at once.
It's not just about throwing a bunch of random elements together, it's about understanding composition, placement, really getting what makes a scene work visually.
That's wild. Okay, so this isn't some AI just randomly generating stuff. It's actually listening and like understanding these complex requests. This next one is the real test though, hands. Everyone knows AI struggles with hands. What's the verdict on FLUX?
This is where it gets interesting. It's still definitely a work in progress, but they've already made significant progress in creating realistic-looking hands with FLUX.
Like how realistic are we talking?
They're even managing to get the number of fingers right most of the time now, which, you know, for AI, that's a big deal.
That's like the holy grail right there. This feels huge. And not just for the techies who get excited about this stuff, but for anyone who's ever wanted to create something. With FLUX becoming more accessible, who knows what amazing things people will come up with.
Exactly. Think about it. These incredibly powerful models like FLUX are now becoming available to just about anyone, and platforms like Together.AI are making them so easy to use. It's like we're handing out paintbrushes and saying, go create your masterpiece.
We're talking about a potential creative renaissance here. But instead of oil paints and canvases, it's lines of code and algorithms. It's mind-blowing. Where does this even begin to take us? I can picture it now. Indie game developers whipping up immersive worlds without breaking a sweat. Small business owners creating eye-catching marketing campaigns. All thanks to AI.
Right. No need to hire a whole design team. It's like having a creative agency at your beck and call.
And Together.AI is going above and beyond just giving people access to the tech. I mean, that free 3-month trial for FLUX.1 Schnell is a pretty strong statement. They want people to jump in and get their hands dirty.
It really shows you how serious they are about making this technology available to everyone. And it's not just them. Black Forest Labs also seems to be on the same page when it comes to keeping things affordable, especially for smaller creators.
I love to see it, you know, new technology popping up with that inclusive spirit baked right in. But I gotta ask, for the folks out there who are maybe just tuning in and hearing about AI image generation for the first time, any advice on where to even begin?
It's a whole new world out there. It can be a little overwhelming for sure. The thing is, the best advice is also the simplest. Just jump in and start experimenting.
Love that. Less talk, more art. But where's the best diving board for that first leap? Together.ai, Black Forest Labs API, somewhere else entirely. So many options.
I'd say it really depends on your comfort level with, the tech side of things. If you just want to dive right into being creative without having to wrangle any code, Together.ai is super user-friendly, especially with that free access to FLUX.1 Schnell we were talking about.
So it's like a playground for AI image creation. You can test out different prompts, see what happens, no coding skills required.
Precisely. They've even got a dedicated playground environment so you can get a feel for the different models before you even think about bringing them into your workflow. It's a really great way to see what all the hype around FLUX is about.
And for our listeners who do speak code, the ones who are ready to roll up their sleeves and build something totally new with these tools, that's where the Black Forest Labs API comes in.
Absolutely. The BFL API is where you go when you need that deeper level of control, that ability to really fine-tune and customize. Developers can tweak parameters to their heart's content, seamlessly integrate FLUX into their existing apps, or even create completely new applications that are powered by AI image generation.
Whoa, okay, so we're talking about potentially putting the power of FLUX into the hands of Website builders, game designers, social media apps, the possibilities are kind of endless. Imagine being able to generate a totally unique image right there on the spot, tailored to like whatever you can dream up, all within your favorite app.
It's mind-blowing, and by offering this API, Black Forest Labs is basically inviting developers to come and push the boundaries of what's possible with AI image generation. It's like a massive open invitation for innovation. You know, they're saying, here are the tools, go make something incredible.
I love that. So we've got user-friendliness with Together.AI, and then the power and flexibility of the BFL API. It sounds like there's a path for everyone to join in on this creative revolution that's unfolding, tech whiz or not. But for all this talk about creativity and accessibility, there's one question that always comes up, and it usually comes with a big fat question mark. Cost. Are we looking at another case of pay to play? Or can everyone actually afford to create in this brave new world?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And honestly, it's refreshing to see that both Black Forest Labs and Together.AI seem to be very aware of that concern. I mean, Together.AI putting that free tier out there for FLUX 0.1 Schnell. That speaks volumes about their commitment to making these tools available to literally everyone, not just the folks with deep pockets.
Actions speak louder than words, right?
Exactly. And then you've got Black Forest Labs talking about competitive pricing with their API, which suggests that they get it, they understand the importance of keeping things affordable, especially for individuals and those smaller companies who might not have massive budgets to throw around.
It's so important for new technology to emerge with that kind of inclusive thinking from the get-go. I'm really glad to see that happening here. But like with any powerful tool, we've got to approach this with our eyes wide open, right? I mean, AI has the potential to be incredibly beneficial, but there's always the flip side to consider.
You're absolutely right. We can't just get swept up in all the excitement and ignore the potential downsides. As amazing as all the creative possibilities are, it's crucial to remember that these are just tools, and tools can be misused. We need to be having those tough conversations about ethics, about making sure these tools are being used responsibly and not for, harmful purposes.
It's like that old saying, with great power comes great responsibility. We've got to make sure we're using this technology for good.
100%. As we step into this new era of AI-powered creativity, it can't just be about the technology itself. It's about weaving in our values, our principles, and making sure that these tools are being used to enhance and elevate human creativity, to promote understanding, and ultimately to create a more inclusive and equitable future for everyone.
That's a big task. But if we tackle it with a spirit of collaboration, with a focus on responsible innovation, I think we're up for the challenge. Now let's zoom out for a second, look at the bigger picture here. What does this rapid evolution of AI image generation, especially with FLUX sort of leading the charge, what does it mean for the future of art and creativity as a whole? It's a pretty big question.
It's the question, isn't it? And honestly, it's one that has artists, critics, technologists, everyone really, buzzing. Some folks, they see it as a threat, like this is the beginning of the end, and AI is eventually just gonna replace human creativity altogether.
I could see how people might worry about that for sure.
Absolutely. And then there are those who are looking at it as a natural progression, right? Like this is just the next step in the evolution of art, another tool in the artist's toolkit, something that can actually enhance and expand human expression in ways we haven't even dreamt of yet.
Two sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
But maybe it's not about picking a side, right?
Exactly. It's about finding ways for those two seemingly opposite sides to not just coexist, but to actually enhance each other.
I love that. So less about us versus them and more about how can we work together.
Exactly. Imagine a world where artists can collaborate with AI, where they can use these tools to explore endless iterations of an idea, break free from those limitations that might have held them back in the past, and really bring their wildest creative visions to life.
It's like having a creative partner in crime who's always up for brainstorming, always down to experiment, never gets tired, and never says, no, that's a terrible idea.
I love that analogy because that's what it is, really. It's about partnership, about collaboration. Just like photography didn't kill painting, AI image generation isn't about replacing human artists. It's about pushing the boundaries of what art can be, blurring the lines between the creator and the creation, and uncovering entirely new realms of artistic possibility.
It's about embracing the unknown, challenging those preconceived notions we have about what art should be, and then getting ready to be amazed by the incredible creations that are born from this fusion of human and artificial intelligence.
We're not just talking about new tools, we're talking about reshaping the entire creative landscape as we know it. And AI image generation is like witnessing the birth of a whole new galaxy in the vast universe of creativity.
And just like those early astronomers gazing up at the night sky, filled with that sense of wonder, the sheer vastness and mystery of it all, we find ourselves on the edge of something truly extraordinary. A future where human imagination and artificial intelligence come together to create a symphony of art and innovation. A symphony that I think will echo through generations to come. It really does feel like we're standing on the edge of something massive. And the exciting part is it's not like we're just bystanders,
Yeah.
We actually get to be part of how it all unfolds.
That's what's so cool about it. Every single prompt, every image, it all feeds into the evolution of this tech. We're literally shaping the future of creativity, one pixel at a time.
That is a pretty amazing thought. But okay, for anyone listening is like, all right, I'm convinced, sign me up. But maybe they're also a little intimidated. What's one small step they can take, like today, to start dipping their toes into the world of AI image generation?
Honestly, the biggest thing is to just start. Seriously, don't get hung up on trying to do it right or feeling like you need to create something amazing right out of the gate. Just play around, experiment, follow your curiosity, and see where it takes you.
So less, am I doing this right? And more, what if I try this kind of energy?
100%. Embrace that playful, experimental mindset. Try out different platforms, play with prompts, and don't be afraid to make mistakes along the way. That's how you learn.
And who knows? You might just discover a new passion, a hidden talent, or at the very least, a really fun way to get those creative juices flowing.
Exactly. That's the beauty of this technology. It's open to everyone. It doesn't matter what your background is or if you have any experience. Professional artist, total newbie, someone who just loves seeing cool visuals. There's a place for you in this world.
It's like being handed this box of magic crayons, and they can draw anything you can imagine. The only limit is your own curiosity and imagination.
And with tools like Together.AI and Black Forest Labs API, those crayons just got a serious upgrade.
So there you have it, folks. The world of AI image generation is evolving faster than we can keep up, and FLUX is definitely one to keep your eye on. But this goes way beyond the tech. This is about the future of creativity, about empowering anyone and everyone to become creators. It's about the magic that happens when human ingenuity meets the power of artificial intelligence.
And we're just at the beginning of the story.
Exactly. So to everyone listening, go out there, experiment, create something amazing, and let's see what we can bring to life in this incredible new world of AI-powered imagination.
Wow, that was next level. FLUX 1.1 Pro is seriously pushing the boundaries of what's possible. We've seen how it's speeding up workflows and delivering jaw-dropping visuals. Just imagine what you could create with AI. So, what will you make first? Drop your ideas in the comments below. Don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and share this with your friends. Let's spread the AI magic. And you don't want to miss this. Click the video on your screen now to discover other mind-blowing things you can start doing with AI today. Let's make creativity unlimited.